It is day 156 and I am coming to you from what could be, well, a furniture showroom. There is way too much here up in the lobby at the Altitude Unicorn. And yeah, the black mirrored marble, the glass, the lighting and the general decor is not one to my taste. Perhaps Sarah's mum may like it.
She likes the mirrors. But morning, we are just waiting for a grab because I'm going to do my second treatment for CAP. So yeah, excited for that. Itchy as always, soiling lips slightly, but we move on.
There we go, man knows the dimensions of his car.
Thank you. We are 1 hour early. Look at me being super early. It's just because of Tim's influence. But we are in our coffee shop, cafe, and I'm feeling so tight today. Literally, when I turn, look, you can see. Anyway, getting treatment number 2. So excited, and yeah, this might be the jam for Tim for while he waits for me. Shop cafe, and I'm having a lychee soda and it's very nice. 45 baht a pound. Cheers. I'm off to get treatment number 2 now, and honestly since last week I am counting down the days until the next treatment happens, just because I am seeing improvements. It's challenging in the week, and I understand that it's a healing process, but each day I'm like, okay, 5 more days until the next treatment, 4 more days until the next treatment, and I'm really glad to be here, really. And yeah, you do get nervous because you're like, okay, will I see improvements after my second treatment? But I am trusting the process, and yeah, like I said, I am seeing improvements already. I am getting challenging moments during the week, but yeah, it's all good. Treatment number 2.
We braced and braved the early morning Bangkok traffic and made it over to Bang Phut in good time. It takes about 50 minutes by taxi. If we'd gone public transport, I think it takes over a couple of hours. So it's not the most connected of areas, well, for us anyway. Perhaps for people more knowledgeable of the local networks, it is. And I've been trying to find a little bit out about it, and other than the fact there are about 65,000 people that live here, there's not much to go on. So I'll go on what I have deduced. And to me, it feels like perhaps it's an area that was built in the 80s or 90s. So there are mid-rise kind of buildings down this main road, and I'd say they're under 15 stories in height, and there's a mix of ones that look like they're in good condition. Then there are some that look like they need a bit of love, and then there are quite a lot that look like they are being taken down, perhaps for redevelopment and renovation. It's if I could make a comparison, perhaps something like Reading, maybe, that kind of feel. There aren't many people on the streets, but there's a fair bit of traffic. It's not like Bangkok, the central areas, and I don't know what I'm going to find, to be honest. I'm going to navigate these busy old roads. It looks like there's some water to my left, and there's not much in the way of street vendors and selling in that way, but maybe that's because it's too early. It's only 10 o'clock, so perhaps they are still tucked up in bed. It feels like it might rain, and it's nice and cool, so it's fine to be out walking and exploring. What I find, I do not know. So here we go, some of those buildings that are in need of a little bit of TLC. And then the shops that will eventually open, I reckon, is that. I like his decoration in the background. Isn't that cool? Oh, and a little cat on the counter. I think perhaps as the day progresses, it will become a livelier area and all these food shops that you can see will open up. And right along the street, it does feel like there are clinics everywhere. Dentists and skin clinics and opticians. There we go, Old Town Barbers charging 350 baht for a haircut. So what's that, about £8? Let the bloodletting begin. Let's have a look at what the parade of shops is saying. We have a nail salon, I'll keep that quiet from Sarah. Fit Face Clinic, whatever that is. We have a unit up for let. Then we have Arawan, which looks like perhaps it is condo letting. And then we have a handbag shop. And in front we have, I guess that's the Grab hangout area, and I imagine there are going to be a couple of stalls there. It looks like all they have is a 7-Eleven. Well, that'll do them well, I think. Or perhaps next door if they want to get some Savita Design. It's our design agency. Nat Bar. And then a premium cannabis dispensary. I've not seen many of them this time round in Bangkok. Is that a Korean barbecue? Korean hot pot, we kind of figured out what that's all about. Then a bike shop. And there you go, just across the road, 7-Eleven. The best supermarket in Asia, in my opinion. Well, as is to be expected, I found a mall. This one's called the Beehive, and they are taking on the hexagonal honeycomb theme to the fullest. Behind me we have an open university. Can you see it? There we go. And just across the way we have what I think is the Land Registry Office, or an equivalent, the Registry of Land Mapping and Registration, I think it's called. Do I want to go into a mall? I'm going to walk past it, the frontage, and see maybe if it's got a Uniqlo or a Lego shop, I'll go in. I guess you become the company you keep, and I am outside the Open University, and it does say there's some kind of monument inside. It's billed as a tourist place, and there's security on the front, and normally I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm not allowed in there. But I am going to go and ask and see if the security will let me in, and I can sneak back onto university campus and relive that student dream for just a moment. There we go. They were the nicest, smiliest security guards who pointed me in the right direction and said, yeah, go and have a look. Isn't that cool? Look, here we go. I think maybe they were a bit surprised I was so happy that I had been let in. I guess that's just the conditioning, isn't it? I am conditioned in that way to follow the rules and regulations, as much as I love and despise them at the same time. There's a bit of my idiosyncratic personality, and of course in any building like this you're going to have something celebrating the monarchy. But yeah, okay, let's have a little look and see what I find. Yeah, like I said before in my previous videos, when I first encountered the King of Thailand in one of his photos, he does look a little bit like he could be related to the Windsors, perhaps. I'm not sure where all the students are. Well, they're probably tucked up in bed. I reckon that's something that is universal across the world. But yeah, it does remind me a little bit of being back on campus over at Farnham at the Surrey Institute. And let's see what their water monument is saying. Yeah, I don't know if you'd be able to do this back in a UK university, if I'm honest. I remember I did kind of want to go back and look around my old university at Farnham, and I don't think I could get any further than maybe the foyer where they had an exhibition hall for artworks and displays. So yeah, okay, I think it must be over here. Well, there's something. It looks like there's a water fountain. What a beautiful campus. It's nice, it's open, it's got lots of buildings. and it has perhaps a slightly Malaysian feel to those buildings. Malaysians may not agree with me. Sorry if I have offended you, old Eddie Chu. I know you're going to be fact checking me to the max, telling me where I'm wrong all the time, and I love you for it. Thanks for commenting. And as always, when in doubt, follow the sound of a power tool, and that's where all the action's going to be happening. So I'm going to cross a little lake and see what's going on, and there we go. I see it. It emerges from in between the line street. There we go. Let's go and check it out. The University Symbolic Pavilion. What it symbolises, I don't know. I'll have to look out for some kind of plaque, but it's got that floating style, raising out of the waters. Great. It looks like a bridge. Shall I try and get on it? Let's give it a go. And as you can tell from the Cheshire Cat grin on my face, I am feeling really proud of myself. The freestyle has paid off. I lived my life for many years as a freestyle dancer, living on a wing and a prayer in those shows, hiding in the background until it was time to do business. And every other point in the show, trying to hide myself from not being seen, messing up all the choreography. Oh, it's gated. And I'm not going to jump that gate. I think I've been lucky enough to get this close, if I'm honest. But it does have a religious feel to this building. It does kind of feel like it is emerging from the water. And perhaps a bit like the old floating mosque in, where was it? Someone's caught their breakfast. There we go, I'll leave them to enjoy that. And one treasure leads to another. And this time I can step up and let's see who this statue reveres, celebrates and memorialises. So marble floored, and wow, yeah, the reflection from that white is truly dazzling. And here we go. Let's do a little Google Translate and find out who this, I don't know, is he a warrior? He's carrying that sword. And he's wearing that explorer hat that I do love so much. And he's got that style with one side clipped up and one down, the way I like. And I am going to leave the statue completely bemused and confused. It's Google translated it for me, but it kind of indicated that it was numerous different kings and that their ascension to throne happened before they were born, and so I think there was definitely something lost in translation. It also alluded to the fact that perhaps one of the kings had abdicated and perhaps given up sovereign rule, and I don't know if that's the case. So yeah, I am none the wiser as to who it celebrates, but what a fantastic find. Let me know if you know.
I've just come out of my treatment session and it was 2 hours, and the reason why it's so long is because basically it's my whole body, so they need to treat my whole body. But yeah, I'm so grateful that the procedure is so relaxing. There's times where it feels like a massage, there's no pain at all, and yeah, I feel good. And also what's really lovely is you come in and the staff here, Jay, are just really nice, and you get to meet so many people in the same boat as you. You know, as soon as you walk in, you just look at each other and you don't have to explain how you're feeling. And what is really inspiring and reassuring is you know, we all like to show our pictures, and they show me their before and after pictures. You know, one, you can see what they're like now, and they're like, oh, this was me 9 treatments ago or 20 treatments ago. And the change you see is absolutely amazing. And the pictures I've seen, like the amount of suffering people have gone through. So yeah, it feels such a lovely place to be, and I'm so glad that I'm getting this treatment, because I am 100% confident that yeah, I'll start feeling normal again.
How was it?
Yeah, good. Yeah, it was good. I was saying, it's just it's really reassuring, because you meet people, like there's about 4 people I met, and then they show you their before pictures and you see what they're like now, and it's so inspiring, like, yeah, and it gives me confidence that yeah, it's gonna be good soon.
Time for a grab?
Yeah, let's grab a grab. So yesterday, a guy, he showed me 3 months after treatment, he looked really, really good, but he's in there now with a big red face, and he was like, yeah, I had a flare, and I said, oh, what triggers your flare? Because obviously after 3 months. And yesterday he went out into the rain and just was loving life, and he obviously got affected, because one of the other girls, she did the same, and Jay was saying, one, she's okay because she's got thicker skin now, and she wasn't in Bangkok, she was outside. And he was saying, if you do that, don't do it for the first sort of, like, I don't know what he said, the first 10-20 minutes, because that's where all the acid is coming down through the rain particles. Maybe later on it's not so intense, but yeah, he said avoid dancing in the rain, basically. But yeah, it's just good to know all these things, because
Protect your skin.
back in the apartment and feeling quite delicate and tight in the face. Look, I can't really move too much, but yeah, just having a reflect on how I'm feeling, and coming back from the clinic, it's a mixed emotions. Very grateful that I'm here, very grateful that I heard about this treatment, inspired and encouraged by seeing other people suffering with TSW and seeing their before and after, their progression in terms of their healing. Empathy, because I know what they've been going through, and some people who are, I don't know, 10 times worse, my symptoms, I don't even know what they've been going through, because mine feels like hell, so theirs would be, I do not even want to wish that on anybody. Sadness that we've had to deal with this, and also anger, because this condition is 100% preventable. And topical steroid withdrawal is basically an overuse of using steroid creams, and sometimes it's depending on how long you've used it, and the potency of the steroid creams will be a big factor on basically your symptoms and how much you're going to be suffering. Luckily for me, I was only using steroid creams for a year. unlucky for me that my doctor gave me a high potency steroid cream, and the dermatologist I saw afterwards, a private dermatologist, gave me the same stuff and gave me a massive tube and said put it all over your body. Luckily I didn't listen to him at that point, but actually it just started with me using a bit of steroid cream on this knuckle here, and Jay was a bit shocked, because he was like, didn't he give you, as a doctor you would give maybe more of a lower potency and just to see if that worked and then maybe up it if it didn't. But yeah, he was like, you were giving class 1 potency on that area, and that I think that caused more spread, especially where it was around my body. But yeah, so it angers me that there's so many sufferers out there and it's still not recognised in the medical field. They say it's extreme eczema, and you tell them that there's all these cases, you see them, you hear the stories, we all feel the same thing. It comes up in the same spots, in the same areas. And you know, I went to see my dermatologist only a few months before we started to travel to say, look, it's TSW. I've done a lot of research online. I see people's symptoms. It's all over my body. It's this burning sensation. I'm not sleeping at all at night because it's itchy. It's continuously itchy. You get these flares, and I get told, yeah, just put more steroid creams on them. So yeah, that's kind of disheartening, because for the past 2 years, I guess, once I flared up and my big flare happened, I kind of didn't go to see a doctor afterwards because I had no confidence in them. And you end up just being alone, you know, watching things on YouTube, experimenting on yourself, seeing how you feel, seeing what the triggers are. And yeah, I'm glad there's more people out there voicing their suffering, sharing their experiences, and there's a big community. And what is really lovely is then, you know, I walk into the clinic today and there's 3 people there, and we just start talking and sharing our experiences straight away. You don't have to even explain what you're going through because we all know. So that's really lovely. But yeah, I hope there's going to be a change, and instead of giving you steroid creams to suppress these symptoms, is understand why are these symptoms happening in the first place. Is there something in your environment? Is that something you're eating? Is there an allergen? Is there an irritant? I don't know. Everyone's different, but it would be great if we could get that education. You know, anything that happens to your body, there's a reason why. You know, my stress is on my skin. Some people is in their stomach, some people get headaches, and it's your body telling you there's something wrong. So instead of like covering it up with something, try to understand what that is, and that's the journey I've been on. So yeah, mixed emotions, but yeah, I feel blessed to be here.